Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, I'm in a new place. Even though I have not shown you any of my traveling yet, I've realized I forgot to film an intro for this video. So you might be able to hear the sounds of the city. It's kind of loud here compared to the farm area where I was living in Pennsylvania. So this is my trip from Pennsylvania to Lima, how I got here. I know a lot of you were curious about my travel, so I decided to just share little snippets along the way of how things are a little bit different now traveling with COVID. I'll just say right off the bat, I flew all the way through with Delta. I love Delta. That's usually who I fly with, and they did a really good job handling things with COVID. So just off the bat, I wanted to mention that, and without further ado, here we go. My trip from Pennsylvania to Lima. I was going to film before this, but had some trouble with my paperwork when I was checking my bags, and then security. Obviously, you can't be recording in security, so I'm here in the airport. I'm at my gate. I always go to my gate first and find it, and then if I'm hungry, I go and find food or use the bathroom or whatever. So I just wanted to kind of show you like who's here. Like that's my gate over there, and there's a lot of people, so looks like there's going to be a lot of people on this flight. I'm flying with Delta, and they've actually been really good at like spacing people out, so I think I have a whole row to myself, so I guess we'll find out. One little thing I wanted to mention is something that I do is TSA pre-check. It's something you can pay for. You've probably seen it. It's like TSA with like a little green check if you've gone through the airport. So what that does is I don't have to remove my shoes, my belt, my anything else. I don't have to take anything out of my bags, but this time I did have to do that. They weren't doing TSA pre-check this time, so that was something interesting. I'm not sure if that was coronavirus or if that was just they didn't have enough people on staff today to have a separate line open, but anyways, so I had to take everything out of my bags. I didn't have to take off my shoes or anything, but so yeah, so that happened today. So my TSA pre-check did not work for me in the airport today. One more thing I wanted to say while I'm still here at Baltimore. I don't know, hopefully it'll be the same way at Atlanta, but all the workers here today have been like super nice, like even the people in the little restaurants and stuff. And TSA has been not super nice, but nicer than normal. So I'm really thankful for that. That's one thing that stresses me out when I'm in the airport, is when people are not very nice. So yeah, I did not have a whole row to myself, but there was a seat empty between me and the other person. This has to have been the prettiest takeoff I've ever experienced, because the sun was setting right as we were going up in the air, so I had to get this on video. It was very pretty. This is one of my favorite things about flying, is seeing the sky when we take off. I actually slept through most of my flight, which is unusual for me, but I woke up near the end and this is what I saw, guys. The sky was so beautiful with the clouds. It looked like a sea or like a blanket of clouds. I had to take a video of it. It was so pretty. So when I actually got inside the Atlanta airport, there were more people than I expected, but it was still not too bad. I couldn't walk with all of my stuff and record at the same time, so I'm just going to tell you about it right now while you watch the landing in Atlanta. The international terminal was actually pretty empty, so that was not really surprising, but there were more people than I expected, but yeah, so Atlanta wasn't too bad. There were more people than in Baltimore, but Atlanta's also a bigger airport, so here we are, landing in Atlanta. So I remember the first time I ever traveled through Atlanta, and I could not find this train to save my life. This is the train in Atlanta that takes you to another terminal, and usually when I arrive, the international terminal is on the other side of the airport. So now of course I know where it is, and I don't have to take a million years to walk from the domestic terminal all the way to the international terminal, which is the very last one. So I'm glad I finally found this train, and now I know how to get there. I'm at my gate and there's nobody here. Eating a snack. My flight doesn't leave for another 3.5 hours, so I guess I'm just gonna have to entertain myself till my flight leaves. They're serving dinner on this flight. I'm curious to see what they're serving for dinner, but from Atlanta, the next stop is Lima. There was almost no one on this flight, so they told us we could move around and choose a different seat as long as it was still in our cabin. So I had a whole row to myself, which was nice because I did lay down across the seats a few times. And even though I can't sleep on the plane, I could still lay down and rest a little while on the flight. So this is our takeoff from Atlanta, and I always download music on Spotify and movies on Netflix just in case I don't like the options in flight. So I watched a movie, then I laid down for a little bit so I could stretch. I didn't really sleep on that flight. I just kind of dozed off a few times. But this flight was actually really quiet. Everybody was spread out, so we had lots of room. So even though this flight was long and I didn't sleep, it wasn't too bad. So this is our takeoff from Atlanta to go to Lima. So this dinner was actually the best thing I've ever eaten on a flight. The first thing I had was this little salad, and the red onions were so strong that I almost started coughing. And then the 4-cheese ravioli. And then, guys, they gave us a Ben and Jerry's on this flight. I mean, seriously, like, how much better can it get? So, and then I always order ginger ale on a flight. Don't know why, it's just a random thing that I do. So there's the dinner that we had on flight. Okay, so again, I couldn't film in Lima in the airport because of immigration, but I do have a funny story that happened. So this clip is us landing in Lima, so I'm going to tell this little story while you watch. So when I got there, I'm always nervous about immigration, so I was already nervous, and then I was also wearing a scarf and a sweater because I came from winter weather. So of course, when I walked through the temperature scanner in the airport, my temperature was really high because I was nervous, I was sweating, I had a sweater, a scarf, everything. So the guy called me to the side and he was like, your temperature is really, or he was just like, temperature high. So he let me stop at the side, cool down a little bit, take off my sweater, take off my scarf, and then I walked through again and I was fine. But I got so nervous, I was like, oh no, they're gonna think that I have a fever and they're gonna think I have COVID, but everything was okay. And then I just walked through again and went through immigration. So I love flying into Lima. There are always flights that come in either at night or early in the morning, so it was really cool to see all the lights. It was very pretty, and as you can see, it's very cloudy. It's always cloudy in Lima. So here we are landing in Lima, and that was the end of my flight. Okay guys, so then after I touched down in Lima, obviously I had to go through immigrations and everything, present my paperwork, and then I picked up my luggage and someone picked me up at the airport, and then I went to my apartment here. So everything went pretty smoothly. I had a few hiccups with some of my documentation, but other than that, obviously I made it through okay. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being interested in my trip. I hope that this helps some of you who are thinking about traveling, give you some tips for how it's going right now with COVID. So thank you for watching. Like if this video is helpful, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and then comment if you have anything to add. Maybe if you've flown or traveled during COVID, if you have anything to add. And thanks for watching like always. Bye guys.